Wait,
It skipped the intro. All righty then. What up, faithful?
what did it do that for? You know,
Technology.
if you guys
Sometimes it
want to,
lights
I
you,
can sing something.
sometimes it doesn't. What can you do? David, how's it going tonight, buddy?
Pretty good. We have some huge news. We're going to the Super Bowl, buddy. We made a trade. Oh,
That's right. Before we get to the
I
main topic,
just
real
kidding.
quick,
I'm just kidding.
the 49ers did
Now,
make a trade. It's Tuesday, October 28th.
yes.
They did make a trade with the New England Patriots for defensive end Keon White, who's listed at 6'5", 285 pounds. That's the typical MO for a 49ers edge rusher, right? When you think of the Arden Keys, your Charles Omenihu's, your Cleveland Farrells, he fits right in there. So I know everybody was reaching for the stars and saying, hey, let's trade for Max Crosby, TJ Watt, Miles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson. Exactly. But this is the type of trade that John Lynch has done in seasons past. Inexpensive guy that can play outside and inside and provide just a little bit of depth on the defensive line. David, what do you think of the trade?
I don't think it's bad. We've seen Chris Eric work with, guys like Arden Key that didn't work out for the Raiders, had a good season with us, And, I mean, this guy, like, I'm looking at his 3-year history. Yeah, he only has 6 games played this year. But last year, and I've heard that he's having issues actually getting on the field for the Patriots because I guess they have some good players in front of him.
Yeah.
But last year, he was a left defensive end. He started 13 games, got 5 sacks, 56 combined tackles. 7 tackles for loss. That's that's not a staggering number. 16 QB hits, though. So, obviously, he can get pressure, And when you're on the left side, you're what? Going up against the right tackle?
Yep. Going against that right tackle.
Right? So that's it kind of fits our needs like right off the bat, especially with like Sam O's day to day, right? With an ankle.
Yep.
I swear there's a hospital week just dedicated to us. Okay. Hopefully it's
trade.
Nice, at least,
the trade is an average trade. He'll be in uniform. I'm sure they'll, like you said, Chris Kasarek will get him worked up, and they'll utilize him. Well, they have to. We need bodies, so wouldn't surprise me if you see him heavily into the rotation on Sunday versus the Giants. Gotta say what's up, Sin. Hey, Sin, how you doing? Bebop's in the house. What's going on? And I wanted to get to the main topic, and that's how much blame should the strength and the conditioning staff get for these injuries? Because of all the injuries, a lot of people are pointing the finger at them, saying, hey, what are they doing? Are they doing anything? Why are they here? Etc. And we started this conversation on Twitter. Shout out to the 49ers X gang on there about this. And, you and I, we kind of saw eye to eye on that. Football's a violent sport. Injuries are going to happen. The injury rate is 100%. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. Everybody's going to deal with something, whether it's big or small. People are going to go through something. But we can't just say it's all the staff's fault for all the injuries, right?
You really can't. You really can't. Especially like sprained ankles. This has been an issue. Is that the training staff's fault? No, it's not. There's nothing they can do about that. Conditioning and strength wise to avoid a sprained ankle or knee.
Well, think about the dreaded high ankle sprain that we've had for
Mhm.
years. I mean, we had, I think, 2 guys deal with it this year, where your if this is your foot, your ankle actually turns outward and up, and it's not meant to do that. And if guys are trying to break tackles, like we saw the young running back in preseason do, and his ankle just turned out.
That was
What
Corey
what
Kinner,
can you
wasn't
do?
it?
Corey Kiner. Yes, it was Corey Kiner.
Corey
Thanks for
Kinner.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what can you do? Your body's not meant to turn that way. There's no strength and conditioning staff on earth going to help that.
Bebop, you kind of sound like my mother, buddy.
Low top cleats, no ankle support.
She used to gripe at me for not wearing high tops,
High tops back in the
And
day,
I was
yeah.
like, if I wear high tops, my ankles will get weak.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was my excuse for not wearing high tops. But that's one thing that's actually still good on me. So I might have been onto something there, folks. But it's like when it comes to injuries, like you're talking about preventable injuries by trainers, hamstring pulls.
Okay.
This is an interesting topic.
Okay. So let's get into it. How many hamstrings have we had this season?
It can be avoided with proper exercise. Huh?
No, I was just asking how many
George
hamstrings.
Kittle,
Kittle was one. I know Kittle.
Right now we have 2 guys out, which I'm not missing. Brendel, I'm not.
Yeah, it was Brendel, but Kittle, Brendel,
Jacob
Jordan
Cowing,
Watkins,
he tore his though.
Jacob Cowing, yeah,
right.
So that's 4 I know of.
Sound like a robot right now, Ty.
You too. I don't know why. It's totally breaking up, and I got this thing on a weird low resolution and everything. I don't know why it's happening. Just roll with it. Who knows?
So we're Terminators, folks.
Yeah, we're Terminators right now.
But so basically, guys, warm-ups, stretching, you get a good program going on, you can reduce the chances of hamstring pulls. But I mean, if you think about it, we got 2 guys that are out for a couple of weeks with hamstring pulls right now, right? Strained hamstrings.
Who's that? Name the 2.
The term.
Who are the 2?
Bryce Huff, Jake Brendel.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha. So
now Jake Brendel, I don't know if we're missing much there, let's be honest. But Bryce Huff, we definitely are. Definitely missing Bryce Huff.
Yeah.
We had like George Kittle, he actually got a hamstring sprain though, right? Isn't that why they put him on IR for so long?
He felt that it was partially torn, that it was slightly torn. Those were his words.
Okay. You see, and it's like, can you actually avoid that with proper training?
Well, think of the differences. Like Brendel and Huff came in action as they're trying to block or avoid a block, etc. Right? They came during contact, pushing against other people. George Kittle's came while he was just running across the field. We all saw the play. He's running across the field looking for someone to block, and all of a sudden he pulls up lame. So, like, I could say he probably didn't stretch right or something. But with Brendel and Huff, could that have been avoided when they're pushing against other 300-pound men? Like, is that something that's avoidable? Is the body meant to do what they're doing?
And that's a good question. Like, a lot of people talk about soft tissue injuries, right? This is something I did get a chance to look into, is what exactly is a soft tissue injury, right? So sprains and strains. Let's talk about everything pretty much, right? Bursitis, right? Tendinopathy, which is something you don't hear a lot about in football.
No.
Of course, strains is on there. Bruises is a soft tissue issue, right? Contusions, which Mac Jones actually has one of those on his knee right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
On top of the whatever he had going on before.
Right.
But an anterior crucial ligament, that's CMC. And the primary cause from that is overdoing it, which that's what happened to CMC last year, right? So it says repetitive strain injury, which is I don't know if we see a lot of that. Tennis elbow is on here, which I haven't seen a 49er with tennis elbow yet.
Just wait.
I'm saying
season's
yet.
not over
I'm
yet.
not cursing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. But any sort of cartilage issue is also soft tissue, right? A laceration, a cut, that's soft tissue. And I saved the best for last. Penetrating trauma.
Got pause on that one.
But
That's not us.
That's literally the list of soft tissue injuries.
Okay.
So you could strain your elbow. Okay, it's not broken.
Yeah.
So that's a soft tissue injury. And a lot of the injuries we sustained, ankle sprains, high ankle sprains, PCL sprain, MCL sprain. This all happens during the game. And
right.
I don't honestly think you can train yourself to avoid it. I don't think making the knee as strong as it can be is going to help you avoid that injury. I mean, what do you think?
I don't think so either, because I think of Dominic Pooney, and he has a PCL strain. At least that's what they said, coming out of that preseason game against the Raiders. And we saw he got the injury when he got rolled up on the field goal attempt. And, that's a mass of bodies when you got multiple 300-pounders rolling on you, colliding into your legs, your knees. There's no way you can avoid that unless, like you said in our chat, you're bionic. That's the only way.
That's right. Yeah. Anyone remember the bionic guy in mind?
That's right. Colonel Steve Austin.
A lot of kids are going to be watching this going, what's that? Google.
I know.
All right.
Yep. Look it up. It was the coolest show ever. The coolest show ever.
I did find, now I was trying to find what team is in second place. Okay.
With the injuries.
And my freaking computer is not telling the list isn't fully compiled. I'm like, you picking on the 49ers here?
Yeah.
So, you've seen that thing since 2017. We've had 2,036 games missed due to injury.
Yes. Which, as we know, is
we are in the first
number.
spot. But what's the difference between first and second? This is what I want to know. Yeah. Right?
I would like to know that as well as the context of players. Because we've had a lot of players like a Danny Gray, a guy who's a fifth stringer, get injured and he's gone for the season. Or we just put him on IR and he stays on IR for the season, right? We've had a number of those. So I would like to add, see some real context to that number to see how much is impact players versus just fringe players. I don't want to see our 10th defensive lineman who got injured, in week 3 and he's on IR for the season. That has no real impact. I want to see, when Nick Bosa goes down, okay, that's a number we need to keep a track on. So
So I have a very short list here, but that didn't give me
mm,
the game's numbers. That's
what's
what
up,
I was
Papa J?
hoping. I wanted to see the difference, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the Cleveland Browns are second on the list of games missed since 2017. It's not giving me numbers here. I'll work hard.
Right.
I'll work hard while we're live to find out. New Orleans Saints are third. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are fourth. Detroit
Mm-hmm.
Lions are fifth. Seattle Seahawks are sixth. And New England Patriots are seventh.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we know all teams suffer through injuries. I mean, they go through it. I mean, earlier the year we played the Cardinals and they had more injuries than us. I mean, we just played the Texans and both of their starting wide receivers were out, just like us. I mean, it's part of it. I just think because that graphic was showed during the game and we lost a number of players during the game as well. Um, Everyone's pointing the finger at the strength and conditioning staff, but it's only so much they can do. You know, when Fred Warner is standing there and a 230-pound man flies into his leg while it's planted on the ground and he dislocates his ankle, what's the strength and conditioning staff going to do about that? How could they have prevented that? It's unpreventable. There's nothing they can do, you know.
I think I just found a made up stat, Ty.
Oh,
It's
I'm sure you
points.
did.
These guys points missed by injury. I'm like, how did you guys figure that out?
Yeah,
Number one. Okay.
yeah.
And we're actually fifth on that list. So we're not doing too bad with being first with
I
most
know,
games missed, right? I mean,
right?
I'm just saying I think
But
it's kind of a made up stat, so I'm not gonna
it's
say
got to
it.
be, because that's like saying, "Oh, George Kittle wasn't on the field, so they missed out on 12 points this game."
Exactly. It's a guesstimate. It's a
Yeah.
guesstimate.
How do you know he was going to score twice? like, like we saw a game last week where he didn't even have a catch. So how do you know? That is truly made up. And I think that's part of the problem with a lot of this discourse, that a lot of numbers get thrown out with no real substance. They have no real meaning, no real value. They're just out there. And, Brian, shout out to Brian Cope. I wish he was here. We'll get together. All three of us will be together one day, folks. He always talks about, how much money we've spent and players getting injured. And I don't think that correlates at all either. Because like we said, we saw a Nick Bosa, one of the highest paid defensive ends in the league, get injured. But we also saw our undrafted rookie Corey Kiner get injured.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, salary has nothing to do in the world of injuries. It doesn't matter what you get paid, you can get injured. So, and I know there's a nice little chart going around with it shows like the number of injuries as compared to salary, and the 49ers have, $1 billion in injuries on IR. It means nothing. It is not a correlation of anything. What did you find now? You looked up, like you just
It
found
is a
another
lot of
one.
money on IR, but that's just
Yeah, well, because if you look
dude.
at it, it's
I'm
because we
actually
have
looking at
two top end players, the highest players at their position. Well, two of the highest at their position on IR. So that kind of inflates it. Well, three. I should add Brandon Ayuk is on there as well. So with Ayuk, Bosa,
damn
and
man. I'm actually looking at it's an
Warner now.
injury concussions.
Mm-hmm.
Total games missed.
Mm-hmm.
You with me?
Yeah.
Concussions total games missed. This is all league wide since 2015. The highest So 2017 was actually the busiest with 281 games missed, right?
Wow.
It has drastically decreased though. Last year it was 182 games missed. Now, do you think that's a combination of rule changes and better equipment? Or
Yeah. It's the
I
kickoff rule
mean,
change, it's better equipment, it's the league doing a better job of identifying players and getting them off the field. Because we've seen that a number of times this year. Well, they will call down from the booth and say, hey, this player doesn't look right. He needs to get off the field and go get checked. Whereas in the past, they would just leave him out there. So we know because of what went down, with CTE and everything, that they are much more proactive in trying to prevent concussions. And I think it's happening. It's happening. Bebop says, are we too shredded? We're not too shredded. It's just crazy freak injuries are happening. We're just guys are going down. They also asked, y'all think Brock should start this week? My opinion, no. He has, excuse me, a ligament
on
injury
MetLife
to his
turf.
foot. You don't want to mess around with that turf. We've seen players just running, no contact at all, no one around them. They're running in a straight line and suddenly drop, torn ACL. We've seen guys standing straight up and start to run and drop to the ground, torn Achilles. That turf, there's something weird about it that's totally messed up. And I remember the Miami edge rusher, that happened to him. He was just standing up in his stance, went to rush, went down, and he said, it felt like someone stepped on my foot. No one touched him. So, yeah, I wouldn't start him at all.
Oh, Jimmy Hoffa. I was wondering where he was buried.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh.
Where MetLife Stadium is, it is a swamp. It is a swamp. There's the ghost of Jimmy.
Now, imagine what they had to do to actually build a stadium there. They had to fill in a bunch of dirt. They had to pack everything down.
Yep.
Right. And I mean, the turf, did they put a layer of concrete under all that, and then like put turf on top of that? I don't know. Right. It seems like
I think so. Yeah.
Though
it seems like
coming from a guy, a PCL strain. A PCL strain is what a 3 to 6 week injury, depending on
6
how
weeks. 6
bad
weeks.
it is, right?
Yeah, depending on the
6
grade,
weeks.
it's normally 6 weeks. Yeah.
And I walked on concrete with one. It took about 2.5 months for it to get right. I was walking on concrete at work. You're talking
10 weeks.
So that just shows you.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you look at,
so added 4 weeks just by getting on it.
Right. It never got good. Yeah.
Right.
And think about that. Dominic Pooney was diagnosed with a PCL injury, strain, whatever it was. And he was back on the field in 3 weeks, having to push against edge rushers and things of that nature. Had to push against 350-pound
nose tackle
Vita Vea the other week, right? A few weeks ago. Like that's when I think the medical staff and the strength and conditioning staff should really be blamed for something. And we've talked about this before. When players aren't given the necessary time to heal and get healthy. When Dominic Pooney is seen after the Raiders game, literally dragging his leg because he can't move it well, and you have an injury that takes 6 weeks to heal from, and he's playing a violent sport, and he's right back in the field in 3 weeks, half the time. I think that's a huge, huge mistake. And the medical staff and the doctors should be, the finger should definitely be pointed at them, and they should be blamed for him being out there on the field and not being himself. Like, he has not been himself this season, and that's a reason why.
From Titron to Ty, just like that. That was like awesome. Okay.
The internet is weird tonight.
I'm about to tune in to see and listen to the podcast on one earbud just to see if it's actually just
I know I gotta listen back
or if it's going through, you know.
Yeah. All right, man. I didn't want to drag this on.
So I'm reading this one thing though. They will not open Brandon Ayuk's 21 practice window ahead of this week. Well, no. Really?
No.
And I mean, he has 3 weeks.
Yeah. And to
after
piggyback
we open
off
the window.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, just to piggyback off this, of Bebop's, question, like, no player that's out is going to come back this week playing on that turf.
No. They would be absolutely crazy to. Especially Brock Purdy with the turf toe and the specific injury he has. That on MetLife turf, we don't need him done for the season.
Exactly.
Missing another game, no big deal.
Exactly. All right, man, we're going to wrap this up because something weird is happening. And you're starting to break up, and I've been breaking up the whole show.
But believe it or not, it's actually not going through. Like, if something's happening right now, it's not going through on the show.
It's weird. It's weird. All right, man. We're going to wrap this up. But if you can hear this, tune in tomorrow night, East Coast Red and Gold, 8 p.m. We're going to have Kate Rooney on. She covers the Giants for Pix 11 here in New York. So we're going to do a little game preview with her. And David, tell them what you got going on tomorrow night.
So we got Corey Davis 49er Wednesday, NFL Pick'ems, folks. So don't forget to tune in. There's 23 people involved here. Don Dotson is the official leader now.
Oh, wow. Go Don.
So I know, right? Go Don.
Yeah. All right, folks, we're getting out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Stay faithful, everybody.